I was writing another ad for Facebook today. And in this ad for Facebook, I was trying to talk to the person who like really enjoys living an active life, right? Like they really, really love being active with their kids or going out and skiing or biking, or maybe they're a runner or a triathlete or whatever. Like they just really love living an active life over the age of 40, but they feel themselves sort of declining, because I think that's a really common thing, even for really active folks. Like they see their health starting to decrease, starting to slip off. They see body fat start to accumulate. They see their strength start to diminish. Maybe they're, if they're measuring some of their performances, like if they're a runner, some of their performance starts to decline. Like we see some of these things happen after the age of 40. And I'm always like fascinated at what people are truly capable of. And that if they really don't know how to train themselves, if they really don't know how to take great care of their physical being, and they haven't really achieved and optimized some of their potential, that there's so much room to be even more amazing in your 40s, 50s, 60s, maybe even your 70s than you were like in your 20s. Like there's so much potential here. And I think people just need like the right guidance and the right things in their life that they need to do to really achieve some amazing stuff.
Let me interrupt, or at least let me step in. I can loosely say that for the past, let's say 5, 6 years, I am as fit or more fit, not just fit, but fitness, which includes strength and cardiovascular output and nutrition and all. If there's, say, 5 things in the fitness world, I am more of those 5 things now than I was in my 20s and 30s. And it's making me think. There was a time I was probably in my late 40s, maybe mid 40s, when let's just say a friend, I was running, and she actually went out and bought me a ridiculous pair of Adidas runners. And I was running 3.5, 4 miles, maybe 5 miles every day. I did that for months. And I I probably am fitter, because now I don't just run. I do all the other nutrition, strength, as well as cardio, and I do all the other stuff, where back then it was just that. Yeah. So I can almost say that, depending on how you look at fitness, I'm fitter now in my late 50s, early 60s than I was in my 40s, 30s.
Yeah, only because partly because you've just expanded on that, right? You've just made that your capacity is so much bigger than just running.
Well, it's the old saying, if you know better, the saying is, if you know better, you do better. But I like to say, if you know better, hopefully you'll do better. Yeah. Because a lot of people know better. They just, for whatever reason, they just choose not to do.
Yeah. And I find that, like, I'm glad you brought up that example, because I find that a lot of endurance athletes, like runners, cyclists, triathletes, these are kind of the big ones, swimmers, they're in great shape, but they're only in great shape in one sort of component of fitness. Like they've got great cardiorespiratory endurance, right? They've got a very low heart rate. Their lungs work really, really well. They're super, super efficient at exchanging gases, in the muscle tissue. Like they've got that really, really solid base of cardiorespiratory conditioning. Yet when they would come into the gym and they would see me, one of the first things I would always want to do is I would want to make them stronger, because I knew if I could make them stronger, I could make them perform better, and they wouldn't have to deal with a lot of the silly injuries that a lot of endurance athletes a lot of times deal with, especially if you've been doing it for years and years and years. And we'd get them on, we'd get them squatting with just like a barbell or something, and they would really, really struggle, and it was always funny, because a lot of the runners would come in and they're like, I got really strong legs because I run every day. And I'd be like, okay, let's just test out an air squat. So I'd show them how to air squat, and then we put a barbell on them and they'd do a few squats, and, it wouldn't take much before things would start crumbling. The legs would start shaking. And once we built that capacity, it would actually carry over into their endurance stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing. If you just want to be fit, if you just want to be a guy who has capacities, he's strong, he's got some cardiorespiratory conditioning, he's able to move his body well, that's ultimately what fitness really is. It's not just being a runner, it's not just being a triathlete, it's not just being a weightlifter. It's kind of having capacities in all of those different areas. But when you do practice kind of all of these different areas, like a broad general strength conditioning type of routine, it's not going to make you a master of any one domain. You're never going to be the best runner in the world. You're never going to be the best weightlifter in the world. The goal is we want to bring all of those areas up so that you just become kind of a badass, like a badass real life dude.
Right? Well, I like your word badass. From me, I don't consider myself a badass. I'm a badass at one thing, and that's breathing. I'm pretty darn good at that. I can breathe pretty darn well. But how I look at myself is physically, anything that's put in front of me, within reason, physically, anything that's put, any physical challenge, and I don't mean the challenge like, hey, let's go compete. I mean, like, I need to move that log over there and it weighs, it's 3 feet around, it's 10 feet long, and I have to move it 50 feet by myself. I don't know how much it weighs. It weighs a lot. I can grab that thing and move it. I can grab it and drag it.
Yeah.
If I'm being chased by a dog and there's an 8-foot fence, an 8-foot wall in front of me, and I got a head start on the dog, I'm going to climb over that fence with almost no trouble. I don't want to say effortless, but it's not going to be very difficult. If, like the example I gave the other day, if there's 10 80-pound bags of cement and I need to move them 50 feet, I could probably move them all one at a time, maybe 2 at a time, but definitely 1 at a time without stopping. I could move them all by myself with no brakes. And watch this segue. And I'm able to do all this stuff for a couple of reasons. I don't train. Well, some people call it training. I don't train, but I work out a lot and I eat right. Ooh, how you like that segue?
Yeah. And that's exactly, that's what we talking about, but we love talking about fitness, of course. So, but it all kind of ties together, right? Like you got to have all of these different components. If you want to be a really fit, healthy, good looking, high performance guy, like you've got to bring all of these different components.
Wait. Stop. I look good whether I work out or not. I mean, come on, look at this. Look at this. Come on.
What if we put the fat suit on you though? That might be kind of interesting, Even
if you put the fat suit on me, this would still look good. Come on. Really? Wait. Yeah, this is my good side. You got that?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you look amazing. So here's the thing. Your body fat is like, so what, one of the things that manifests when we chase great health, when we chase being fitter, stronger, great cardiorespiratory conditioning, when we chase all these things, one of the things that happens is any excess body fat that's kind of hanging around the system, it goes away, because when you train your body to be sort of a high performance system, a high performance body, it doesn't want to carry excess body fat, right? And we can train you to a certain point, even if you have poor nutrition. I can still train up somebody's capacities, but they're never going to hit their true genetic potentials until we get the nutrition piece figured out as well. And when you bring that nutrition piece in, that's where like all of a sudden you become very, very lean, and you can be a 63-year-old guy and see your abs, right? Because that's possible.
Well, I mean, I'm speaking only for myself, from myself to myself. I'm a lean guy anyway. I don't think I've ever been more than 180, 85 at my max. And I can remember a year ago, maybe a year and a half, and I go and get a body composition scan every 3-4 months, just because, I go get, just because. And I remember being 14.4% body fat, say a year and a half ago. Now I'm 10, and I will give most of it, I'll give a good majority of it to good nutrition, and being consistent in my workouts. I work out as much as I can, as often as I can, and when I go hard, because a hard workout is as good as, it's the best thing a person can do for themselves on a regular basis. And with a hard workout, if you don't stay hydrated, drink lots of water and eat right, lots of fruits and vegetables, lean meats, nuts and seeds and blah, 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 but good nutrition. And I'm only speaking for myself. I don't deny myself. I have to say it this way. I don't deny myself shit. I want to eat a candy bar. Man, I haven't had a candy bar in a long time. No, I haven't. But if I want to eat a donut, I eat a donut. If I want to eat a piece of pizza, I'll go and have a piece of pizza. I don't eat pizza very often. I can't remember when I last had a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
I had a muffin. My wife bought 2 muffins. She cut the 2 muffins in half and ate both halves. I ate one half. And then a few days later, I ate the other half. And that's the first muffin I probably had in a month, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I put a teaspoon of honey in my tea, and I have 1 cup a day. That's it. I do like dark chocolate. If I don't eat dark chocolate, I start to fade. And I don't want to. Last time I faded, I started to disappear. So I'm like, nah. So I might eat 1 or 2 squares of dark chocolate a couple nights a week, but
do you think if you were, you only eat these things occasionally, I know you get the dark chocolate once in a while, but like you said, you haven't had a candy bar in forever. Occasionally you'll eat a piece of pizza once in, you don't deny yourself of anything, but it doesn't sound like those are things that are consistently in your diet. You're not eating donuts every day. You're not eating pizza every day. You're not drinking beer every day. You're not eating candy bars every day. You're not denying yourself anything, but at the same time, you're still making it sounds like you're making way more good decisions than bad decisions.
An average dinner in my house is, what did we have the other day? I had 2 center cut pork chops that I grilled, sweet potatoes. She threw some sweet potatoes in the oven, baked sweet potatoes, and some sauteed 2 or 3 different kinds of squash, butternut and yellow squash and whatever. That was dinner.
Nice.
And that's, on average, that's our dinner most nights. We eat real food. We eat food that we can recognize.
I'm curious though, when you were 14, what was it, 14.4% body fat a couple of years ago? What was the difference between then and now? Were you just less consistent with how good you were eating?
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. I was just less consistent. I would eat the donut on a regular basis. They actually got to know me there's this bakery up the street. They actually got to know me. Hey, Keith, nice to see you. You're regular? Yeah, give me 2. I'd buy 2 donuts and eat 1 on the way home.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, man, I did that a couple times a week. Oh yeah. And I haven't been in that bakery probably a year, 8 months, 9 months.
Were you still working out? I'm kind of know the answer to this, but were you still working out, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So even though you were still working out, because I think there's a thinking, and this is what we've been trained for years and years and years, is to think that if we want to lose weight, all we got to do is we got to start exercising more, and then the body fat's just going to go away. So what you're saying?
It does, but it doesn't work like the 1-to-1 correlation is not there. You work out, the body fat's going to go away. No, you work out. You need to eat right, drink lots of water, and then the body fat starts to, because the body fat is being replaced by muscle. You might not even lose any weight because muscle is heavier than fat.
Yeah,
you lose a pound of fat and gain 2 pounds of muscle, the scale won't change.
Yeah. But what you're saying is that it's possible to actually work out quite often, do the whole thing, take care of your fitness and get fatter.
Fatter Well, I don't know if you would get fatter or not lose any body fat,
But didn't
because
you gain though?
you can.
What were you before 14.4? Were you 10 before that?
No, I was about 12.
So you gained body fat.
I guess so then. Yeah. And it's weird. I can go upstairs and get the papers and I can read you the
I
different
believe you.
papers.
No, and
But
I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is they think that if they work on their fitness that they can't get any fatter and that they'll lose body fat. When in fact, I can make someone significantly more fit. I can make someone, depending on where they're starting from, right? But I can make them very, very strong. I could even improve their 5K time, right? Even if their diet isn't very good, if we're out training and running, I can really improve their cardiorespiratory system. Again, we'll never get to full genetic potential if you're carrying excess body fat, but you can actually get fatter while you're getting fitter. Like it's 100% possible. Like if I work my ass off in the gym and I go home and I drink
I'm that guy.
I drink like 3 beers and I have a pizza every night. You know, I'm still going to see some of that strength benefit. I might still see some of that cardiorespiratory adaptation happen on the inside, but I can put a pound of body fat right on my belly.
I'm that guy. And because I mean, it's funny that you say put it in your belly, because I think that's where my fat was, around my middle.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking back, kinda, I had to flex hard to see my abs.
Yeah.
And me personally, I don't use that as a barometer, because the abs are, I mean, come on. It's like if I had a choice between, here, look at this washboard, or, hey, look at this, look at the whole package. It's a no-brainer in my world. And only me, I don't have to flex to show my abs at all. I can just pull my shirt up and they're there. If I flex, it's like, holy smokes, what the 6-pack? No, mine turns to 9. Yeah, or something like that. Hey, don't laugh, buddy. I mean, what can I say?
I've seen it, dude. You're like incredible. It's amazing. I always tell you, you're an inspiration to me, man.
No, I'm only an inspiration to those that pay attention. And I mean, talk silly, so not many people pay attention to me.
Yeah, but man, it's amazing. Again, what's possible. I think a lot of us, we don't realize what's possible, and we sort of let ourselves off the hook as we get a little bit older, and we even let ourselves decline. And then we kind of come up with this narrative like, well, I'm getting older. My metabolism is slowing down. We come up with these different stories, right, in your head.
And you can change all of that. You can speed your metabolism. You can increase your strength. You can increase your cardio. You can increase your strength. You can reduce your fat.
Yeah, you can get healthier. You can get off medications. You can do all kinds of really cool stuff.
Yeah, and it's the old saying, an apple a day. It's kind of true. You eat an apple, maybe a banana every day. An apple and a banana on Monday, a pear and a handful of grapes on Tuesday, a couple of carrots and some. I like the sweet peppers, the yellow and the red sweet peppers, because they're actually sweet.
Yeah.
You do that every day at lunchtime along with your food, with your lunch, man. Just adding the fiber of the fruits and vegetables, and then you can't really cut out the sugar, because an apple should be sweet, so you're gonna get some sugar, which is not a bad way to get it, fructose. And it's good for you, and depending on what you eat, it actually tastes good. We keep apples in our refrigerator, we keep sweet peppers, and we keep carrots, and we keep whatever the heck else my wife buys. She'll go out and buy 4 bananas, and when we eat them a couple days, she'll go buy 3 more. And we eat those, and she'll go buy, and then in between, she buys the 5-pound bag of apples. And every day.
What do you think, if you wanted to give somebody just advice, right? If we want to give the world some advice, guys over the age of 40, on how to improve your health and how to improve your aesthetics to get rid of some excess body fat when it comes to nutrition, what do you think would be the most important thing? Just sort of broad general.
broad and general,
Yeah, what's the most
there's
important
no
thing?
one silver bullet. I would probably say it's hard for me to put a one thing on it. I can't just say one thing. I don't see that there's one thing that's going to make any significant difference. It's always, in my world, it's a combination of things. I would say something like drink more water. You know, it flushes your system. It keeps your skin clear. It hydrates your body. It you know, take away one soda a day and drink. You know, replace that with 10 ounces of water. Or eat one apple every single day, even on weekends. Eat an apple, just one apple. You know, drink some water and eat an apple. Once a week, have a no meat dinner where it's all vegetables. I mean, not vegetables, but like eat beans. My wife makes chili. She can make a meatless chili that's, holy smokes, good.
Nice.
You know, meatless chili. Oh man, eat,
Yeah.
you know, eat a salad. I'm not big on salads, but I eat them. But you know, once a week in our house, we generally try to have a meatless meal, and we've been doing that for a long time. Again, in my world, there's no one thing.
Yeah.
It's always a combination of things. Every morning I come down, I'll get a glass like this. I think this is 20 ounces, I think it's 20 ounces. I'll drink this with water every morning before I do anything. Before I do my morning routine, I'll drink a glass of water. And not necessarily cold water with ice from the fridge, just tap water, lukewarm, so it doesn't shock my system. Slam that down. It's like, okay, now I'm ready let me go do my 12 minute, 15 routine. And then I start my day.
Nice.
Water starts your system back up again. You can drink a glass of water and all of a sudden you're hungry. Now you're ready for food.
Yeah.
So if I would say one thing, drink more water.
Drink more water. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
I mean, what do you think?
You know, I think the biggest thing for most people is just improving the quality of the food that they eat. And when I say quality, I have a really specific prescription that we use in Athletic After 40, and you know it. It's meat, veggies, nuts, seeds, and fruit, right? It's like sort of getting back to what we'll call real food. It's the stuff that Mother Nature has put on this planet for us to not just survive, because it's pretty amazing what we can survive on. Like, it's incredible, right? But to survive and thrive, right? So we just clean things up. We just get the quality of the things that are going into your face. We raise that level up, and it's usually a game changer. Like, it's usually just that one fundamental foundational piece that we change, that we'll see body fat start to go away. We'll see energy levels improve. We'll see even performance improve, right? We'll see health numbers get better. Everything gets better when we eat quality stuff. And it's like all the stuff that you mentioned, like meat and vegetables and, you know, fruit and nuts and seeds. And like, these are the things that nourish us like to the soul, like make us really
when you say quality, are you talking like, you know, Walmart or Harris Teeter or grass-fed or organic, or I can source every single piece of food that I put in my mouth from the farmer, because I basically went up the ladder, and the end, probably the last two, you know, farm or grass-fed, organic, and then source. That's when it becomes expensive.
Yeah.
You know, you could pay, I don't know, I don't grocery shop, but you can pay $5 for a 3-pound chicken at Harris Teeter. You get a sourced chicken from the farmer that,
Yeah.
you know, that same 3-pound chicken is going to cost you $14.
Maybe even more.
See the difference? Yeah, maybe more, right? So
Probably more.
Probably more. When you say quality food, be more specific. Expand on that a bit.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think it just depends on if it's somebody who's coming to work with me. I would want to know what is the choices that they're making right now. And let's just say that they're making a lot of choices that don't fall in the categories of meat, veggie, nuts, seeds, and fruit. Let's say they're eating a lot of donuts. Let's say they're eating a lot of pizza. Let's say they're drinking a lot of alcohol. Let's say they're making a lot of really bad choices, right? In that case, I'm not concerned at that point in time where you're getting your meat, veggie, nuts, seeds, and fruit from. You can get it from Walmart. You can get it anywhere that you want, right? There is, although just like, to your point, like what you said, there is another level of quality. So if somebody were to come to me and they're already eating the majority of those from those categories, maybe we have the conversation of ramping that up a little bit. Maybe we see if we can find a farmer to source better food from. And yes, 100% it's going to cost a little bit more. So this is sort of the ascension thing, but then we have that conversation then. Is it worth it to you to spend a little bit more to secure some of this more, this even arguably more healthful food that comes right from the frickin' farmer? Like I got a farmer, I can go pet the cows if I want, and I believe that there's value there. And the whole price thing, like for me, I'll just give you like my thought around this. When I went through cancer back in my late 20s, early 30s, my wife and I, when I went through sort of my transformation, because that's when I decided that I was going to be a healthy person, we made the decision back then, and we both made the decision that we were never going to question the amount of money that we spent on groceries. That was the one thing that we were just going to open up the floodgates, and we were going to spend whatever it took to get the highest quality food. So I'll spend the $25 for the chicken. You might think I'm crazy, but like that was one of our like non-negotiables. Like, look, this is way too important. And that's a decision that we made and we still live to this day. So our grocery bill, when people see it, they're like, what? They're like, are you insane? And I'm
No,
like,
it's
not
more
at
like
all.
how many people are you feeding?
Yeah. Like, but we just buy like we source like the best stuff. So for the most part.
Well, you're probably talking to, 3% of the population that can afford, and then there's a lot of people that actually can't afford it and just choose not to do it. Like what we get, Jolene buys probably the majority of our meat from a butcher. We don't go to the grocery store and buy meat off the rack or the refrigerator counter or whatever.
Yeah.
She buys it from the butcher, so she can kind of sort of give me that meat there. No, not that one, the one next to it. And where they slaughtered the cow this morning, and now they're cutting it up and selling it.
Yeah.
Not that the cow wasn't eating trash and garbage and out of a garbage can and blah blah blah.
Yeah, but it was fresh.
It was fresh meat. And
yeah.
And and it's even that is a little more pricey. We never ever buy meat at Walmart or any of these local grocery stores unless it's just something that we want right now. And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm standing here and just grab it.
Yeah.
But
so a lot of this is just personal decision, but I think that the kind of the non-negotiable is like, let's get away from a lot of the processed refined crap, right? I mean, it's pretty much that simple.
We in my house, I don't think we have anything in a can. I know we don't have anything in a box. We eat nothing from a box. I think the only thing that she has in cans is probably stewed tomatoes, and they're probably organic. She buys fresh tomatoes. She does get a really good salsa that, and she label reads. So everything in the salsa is like one word, no preservatives, none of that crap.
Yeah, it's just real food. Tomatoes, onions, peppers, like just straight up. Oh no, did I lose you?
Yeah, I said, hello, are you there? I'll just keep talking and pretend that you're there. and then it just blinked off.
Yeah, sorry about that. So we'll try to wrap this up, but you were talking about, I think we were talking about quality. I can't remember exactly what you were saying, but obviously quality is something super important. Was there something that you were?
Well, I vaguely remember, but it's something to the effect that I would assume, I don't know, but I would assume that the majority of the population don't want to, or just whatever, not many people are going to go out and spend $15 on a 3-pound chicken when they can spend $5 on a 3-pound chicken. And eating a $5, and I'm just using this as an example, eating a $5 chicken from the grocery store is better than eating chicken from Bojangles or Chick-fil-A or Kentucky Fried or wherever, because at the end of the day, it's a real chicken. It's not processed chicken that was cooked in oil that, has been cooked in for the last 3 days with, you got 90 pounds of chicken cooked in this oil for the last 3 or 4 days. And if you can see a whole chicken and cut it up and cook it yourself, be it fried, baked, whatever, it's considerably better than eating Bojangles. And if you really want chicken, you don't want to cook it, go out and buy a baked chicken, one that's baked, that at the grocery store. Pay $7-8 for the baked chicken. Costco's got a really good one. And actually it's almost a 5-pound chicken. It's a huge chicken and it only costs $7.
Nice.
And it's a baked chicken. It's not
comes in the bag.
Or something like that.
Cooked. Those are great. Whole Foods has those too.
Whole Foods has those. And it's that still is better than eating from Bojangles or Kentucky Fried or any of those places that sell chicken. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. If I'm feeling like some chicken, I will go and treat myself to a Bojangles or I like Chick-fil-A better. But I will. Do I do that often? Absolutely not.
Right.
But I like it.
Yeah. And that's kind of the other thing that I think a lot of people don't understand too. And mostly because they've tried so many things. They've probably been on a diet before. Like just about everybody over the age of 40 has probably been on some sort of diet, especially if you've struggled with like body fat. Not everybody, but I'm going to say that the majority of folks have probably been on like the keto diet or the Atkins diet, or if you remember Body for Life, Bill Phillips back in the day, these are all different diet programs that people have been on. But I think it's important for people to understand that you don't have to be perfect. Like you can run at 10% body fat at the age of 63 years old and not be perfect.
I'm perfect.
Did you say you are perfect?
I am. Look, I'm perfect.
I just mean like normal people, not like really amazing, perfect people like you.
No, I'm so not perfect. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm so not perfect. Yeah. But I think in to conclude this, just kind of sort of, at least from my end, eat food that you can recognize.
Yeah.
Eat food that doesn't come out of a box or a can or comes in a bag with napkins.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Nice. Well, eat a cookie, eat a donut. Don't eat a cookie or a donut every day.
No.
Substitute 1 cup of coffee. If you have 4 or 5 in a day, substitute 1 cup of coffee for a glass of water.
Yeah.
Substitute 1 soda for a glass of water, for a bottle of water. I mean, hell, drinking water from a hose is better than drinking soda from a can.
Yeah. 100%.
And hose water, me, if I'm thirsty and all there is a hose, I'm drinking hose water.
Yeah.
I'll let it run first, but I'm drinking hose water.
Yeah, you want to get all the ants and the snakes out. That's what we used to drink out of as kids.
Trying to tell you, and I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just eat real food.
Yeah.
Food that you can recognize.
It's a game changer.
Know that you know what it is. If you can't eat fresh vegetables, the next best thing on the list is frozen vegetables. My refrigerator is full of fresh and frozen vegetables.
Yeah.
My freezer outside, that's all that's in there is frozen vegetables. There's nothing else in there but frozen vegetables. There's probably 40 bags of frozen vegetables.
Yeah.
We keep fresh fruit. Eat a piece of fruit. Eat 1 piece of fruit every day.
Yeah.
And if you can do this on a consistent and regular basis, and then get you a workout on average, I'll be conservative, 2 to 3 days a week, in real life, 3 to 4 days a week. If you can do that, there is no such a thing as a diet.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle change. It's eating habit
Yeah.
that makes your weight go off and makes your endurance and all the muscles and everything go up. You
Just makes you
just,
crazy healthy.
well, it makes you considerably healthier than you were,
Yeah.
because, even the guys that are the top level athletes, they train to get better, and they are at the top. There's no one above them, but they are constantly training to get better. They're trying to eat better. They're trying to train harder and get fitter. So fitness, being crazy healthy, it's one of those unattainable goals, but it's a goal that one should strive for, because it's kind of like studying to be a Tai Chi master. I studied Tai Chi for 10 years, and the guy that I studied under, he studied for over 60 years. He taught the Korean military. This guy was recognized in the world as one of the world's leading Tai Chi masters. And he said he considered himself an advanced beginner. He said you never, ever, ever reach success. You never, ever reach that end where you don't have to train anymore. And I think it's the same thing with nutrition, with overall fitness, with overall health. It's one of those things that you just keep striving to get better at.
Yeah.
And the best part is the journey. You go from drinking 3 sodas a day to 1, and replacing the other 2 with water. You go from eating a candy bar every day to an apple.
Yeah.
You go from eating a pizza every Friday to eating a baked chicken. Not even one that you baked yourself, one that you got at Costco or Whole Foods. And
Yeah.
then the progression would be you go and buy the real chicken, and then you cook it yourself.
Yeah.
It's a continuous progression.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is the journey, baby. And I am living proof. Well,
Yeah.
I, I'm,
I think we
I'm
really
living
want to
proof
see,
of
we
the
really want to see
journey.
your abs.
I mean, oh, really? Really?
Yeah, no, I'm just
I mean,
kidding.
come on. I don't want to cause a
You
stir in
put us
the
all to
force.
shame. You put us to shame.
I don't want to cause a stir in the force. Oh, there's a stir in the force.
Yeah. So last thing. So this is all well and good. We got to eat good food. We got to exercise, right? Develop your capacities around fitness. How do you stay the course? Like somebody who's done this for like as long as you've done it, for 15, 20 years, 25 years, whatever. How do you stay the course?
There's only one way, and to me, it's really, really simple. You got to want it. If you don't want it, you're never going to get it. And getting it is kind of it's almost like an oxymoron, because even when you want it, you never get it, but you're reaching for it.
Yeah.
But if you don't to do this consistently and continuously over months and days and weeks and years, you have to want better than where, you have to want to be better than what you are. Better, you want to lose weight, fine. Better, you want to lose weight and gain a little muscle, fine. Better, you want to lose weight, gain a little muscle, eat better. Better, lose weight, gain muscle, eat better, run further. It just keeps going and going. You want to see your abs. You want to be able to stand, and you want to be able to go to the beach and pull your shirt off and not feel like, what did my nephew say? I said, yeah, I got a 6-pack. He said, yeah, I got a keg. You don't want to go to the beach and have the keg.
Yeah.
You want to be able to do whatever you want physically, even if it's within reason. You're not going to go out and pick up a car. You're not going to go out and, push a house over or rip down a tree. But if you need to go out there and the neighborhood boy falls and you need to go and pick him up with his bicycle, can you do it? Can you pick up a 90-pound 8-year-old that hurt his knee and carry him to his house? Or do you have to wait there and you wait here, I'll run and go get help? Or you break out your cell phone and call the neighbors, hey, your boy's laying here bleeding, because you cannot bend over and pick him up.
Yeah.
Real world kind of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
everybody wants to go out and play with their kids and all that stuff. But real world stuff, you know, what if your kid falls down and hurts himself? You need to be able to pick that kid up and carry him to the car, to get him to the hospital with his broken wrist.
Even
You know,
your
not
wife,
get up,
man.
Johnny. Huh?
You might have to pick up your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously. Like,
You know, heaven forbid, your wife slips in the tub in the shower.
yeah.
You got to go in there and lift her up. I mean, not even lift her off her feet, but you have to be able to physically grab her under her arms and squat down and stand up with her, all 100 and whatever pounds of her. You know, can you do that?
Yeah.
I probably could. Actually, I'm sure I could, but still,
yeah.
You know,
I love it. Like you just kind of like, you just got to really want it. Like you have to live, you want to be that kind of person. You want to be that person, right? You want to become this person who is healthy and can do all the things that they want to do and who really takes great care of themselves, right? I mean, I think that's sometimes the hardest thing. People don't get in the right mindset when they start off on a diet or an exercise program. And then it just becomes kind of a quick fix thing. You know, they might get a little bit of results, but then they fall off the wagon because they really never do the hard work, which is the work up here, to really want to improve, to really want to keep pushing forward, to really want to become this different version of themselves that's just never really satisfied. And that's keeping, you know, just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And it doesn't even have to be an all-out push, right? But just to keep persisting, to keep going, to keep following that North Star of like, I want to be the most helpful person, you know, that's capable, that can enjoy my life.
Here it is.
You know?
Here it is. I got two. One is how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
There you go. And the journey of 1,000 miles begins
with one step. I love it.
There you go. There's some real life old man wisdom.
Yeah. And it's so true. Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's wrap this one up. We'll dig more into nutrition because there's so much we can talk about in this topic. You know, we just kind of scratched the surface. So we'll certainly dive into this again and we'll dig into some other stuff too.
Yeah. I'm Keith. And you're supposed to say, I'm Tony. Come on, dude. Wait.
I was waiting to see what you'd say. I'm Tony. I'm Tony. Hopefully they know us by now. And if you don't, go watch some of the other videos because we got all kinds of good stuff and we're going to be putting more out. It's really good stuff. So go check it out. If you want to be a badass, if you want to be fit, healthy, good looking, maybe even get a six pack after the age of 40, you're in the right place because that's what we do. That's exactly what
absolutely.
we do. Yeah. All right, man.
Peace, y'all.